In recent years, the Islamic finance industry has been experiencing double-digit growth and has moved firmly from the fringes of the financial world to the mainstream. The same can also be said for the halal business. Both have caught the attention of non-Muslim corporations and countries eager to get in on the boom. And that presents both a challenge and opportunity for Muslim countries.
Allah has permitted al-bay', which means trade. And Allah has prohibited a riba interest or usury. Trade in the modern day, you have so many risks. You have market risk, you have credit risk, you have systematic risk. So for that, assuming that risk which you've done now, it is legitimate for you to enjoy the profit.
Based on that system of risk and profit sharing, the Islamic financial system worldwide now boasts around $1 trillion of assets and is growing at around 15% annually.
Do remember that it's starting from a very small base, so those double-digit growth numbers are fairly spectacular. But if you look at all the assets in the world, it's probably around 1%, so we still have some way to go.
And it's not confined to Muslim countries, with places such as London and Singapore also actively promoting Islamic financial services. The Islamic Bank of Britain was the first in Europe to be fully Sharia compliant.
Our growth rate has been quite phenomenal. From a zero start, we have nearly 50,000 customers in the UK. And some of these customers come from all types of backgrounds. In fact, our very first customer when we opened the bank was a non-Muslim customer.
It's those high growth rates that present serious opportunities, especially for countries in Central Asia like Kazakhstan, well positioned to provide a home for the oil wealth of the Gulf.
First bank in Kazakhstan called Halal Bank, and we introduced a new law about the Islamic finance, and we are going to expand it, and we start up a negotiation with a number of countries from the region, from Saudi Arabia, from Bahrain and from some others, to attract more investment over here. I personally view Islamic finance as a good source for the development, not only for Kazakhstan, but for the whole region at the same time.
Malaysia was one of the first countries to develop a modern-day Islamic banking system, which is now thriving alongside the conventional interest-based system. Malaysia is the largest issuer of sukuk, roughly Islamic bonds, and is aiming to become a global hub for all types of Islamic finance.
As we will see in the next slide.
To that end, the country's central bank has established an institute that trains people in the intricacies of Islamic finance to PhD level.
The objectives of INCEF really is to ensure that there is a continuous talent pool where the industry can tap from, and so that this will ensure that the industry will continue to grow on a sustainable basis.
The growth and strength of Islamic finance in Malaysia is helping boost its ambitions to be a leader in another industry that is a natural fit for Muslim countries.
Another interesting area where Islamic finance is moving forward is this recognition of the whole halal food chain, and the fact that if you need to borrow money, you should borrow money Islamically in order to support your halal food business.
The halal industry is based on the making of products sanctioned for Muslims to consume, slaughtered in the correct way and free of pork products and alcohol. Catering to more than 1.5 billion Muslims, the halal industry is estimated to be worth some $2 trillion, with growth expected to be as much as 25% annually. As with Islamic finance, Muslim countries can't take their leadership in the industry for granted. Indeed, far from it. It's actually large multinationals and non-Muslim countries that have by far the biggest share of the market. Whether it's Thailand producing halal chickens or Australia halal meat.
If you don't have this basic industry, then you don't have the halal industry. Yeah. So what we're seeing here is that there is an urgent need for the Muslim countries to look at this thing very seriously and start developing their own halal industry.
Malaysia's Muslim-owned Prima Agri Products knew it didn't have the scale or know-how to make an impact on the world halal stage on its own. So they teamed up with an Australian company with a long history of producing meat products for fast food chains.
We've been going around, we have been identifying partners in the worldwide, actually, you know, and trying to get them to work with us, at least in the context of trying to advise, or if possible, even to manufacture on behalf of these big players, the non-halal big players, to come and use Malaysia or use my company, for example, to go forward in them penetrating the halal market.
It's precisely the type of collaboration that the WEEF aims to facilitate, as it seeks to boost trade, investment and economic development across the Muslim world.